Welcome to our international podcast, Below the Belt. Who vex lose? We're so happy that you guys are here with us today. Couldn't ask for more. Or could we? Siobhan McDonald. Could we? Beatrice Selby. Beatrice, thanks for the ting. Beatrice, thanks for the ting. It fit good. It fit good, Beatrice. Thanks for the thing. Sharika Phillips, how you doing out there? Guys, quite a weather we have here in the national capital city of Georgetown. Quite a weather we're dealing with, we're trying to cope with. Making the best of it, guys. It's 28 degrees outside. It says it feels like it's 32. 22% chance it's gonna rain. It's raining, folks. It's raining cats and dogs in the national capital city of Georgetown, where we are. Demarama Hiker, Region 4. It's raining, guys. 22% chance of rain. It is raining. They said it's 28 degrees outside. It feels like 32. Feels like 16 for me. But we can cope with it. We can do what we got to do. We can do what we got to do, guys. Pace and power. Boots on the ground. We're backing out. Good to see you, folks. Good to see you, folks. And this weather, I think, persists into the evening. Yep. They say as we go into the evening, there's a 43% chance it's going to rain. 60% chance overnight, and thunderstorms in the forecast for the entire day. What a day is this, guys? How's the weather where you are? Beatrice Selby, good to see you. She says it's hot here in Queens. Well, take some of this weather, Beatrice. Take some of this weather. Rashford, how are you doing? Leslyn Charles. I see Sandra Batiste is here as well. Sandra Batiste. And GT Rude Girl, present. She show up, she come, she land, she arrive. She's here. Carolina Reynolds, good to see you. Shrika Phillips, respect and manners. Alisa Modilal, how are you doing? Welcome. From the top, guys. I see Carl Steen Damon is here as well. Maylene Griffith is here too. Bum, 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 bum. So Mo Williams, welcome. Guys, today's theme is the state of the region. And we're going to be talking on Thursdays with our representatives in the different regions, whether they're councillors, whether they're MPs, whoever they be. Once they represent Abbey in the regions, we're going to be talking with them. Even Region 11, right? Even Region 11. Hazel Wendy Griffith, good to have you. We're going to be talking with Captain Daniel Seeram today. The Region 4 chairman, Captain Daniel Seeram. Good to have Marilyn Thomas with us and Judy Williams. Who else there would we? We outside, people. We outside. Who vex? Quite a weather spell. We're dealing with. What we can do, we got to do. The rain can do what you got to do. We there. We outside. Good to have you, folks. Great to have you, folks. As a matter of fact, let us know if you guys are hearing us loud and clear. Susan Kanzias, who says she's joining us from Myconi, around the corner in the back street by the Sign Avenue. Linda Webster, good afternoon to you as well. Present, Linda says. Great to have you, Linda Webster. I see Cheryl Mingo as well. Cheryl, how are you, Cheryl? Good to have you. Brenda Braffett is here as well. Not to be left out. Colin Williams. Giselle Chipper, 68. Welcome. Good to have each and every one of you. Yep. I see, is it Giselle saying that they're in Black River, New York? Sounds like quite a place. Black River. Yep. Chisel Chipper says it's 58 degrees, feels like 57 in Black River, New York. Yep, that's how it's going down there, folks. We see Colin Williams is here as well. And we're so happy that you folks are here. What are you guys having for lunch today? What you guys chowing down? What's on the menu? That's what we want to know. What's on the menu? What's on the menu, folks? Tell us. What's on the menu? What's cooking? What's bubbling, folks? What's bubbling? Teachers protest over gang attacks at city school. Lord. The things. It's the things. Lots happening on our front, guys. Lots happening at our front, and we're being told that teachers yesterday staged a protest over the operations of gangs at a large secondary school in Georgetown, where they say they continue to be targeted despite making reports about the situation. The teachers, who said they have also been faced with threats from some students, decided to protest to highlight the situation. The school to highlight the situation at this to highlight the situation at the school rather. Yep, in light of the recent attacks. Folks, that's not well at all. Right? That is not well at all, folks. When the police has to be called into a school setting. No. That's not well at all, guys. That needs some serious intervention. Because what's transpiring in the school, folks, can be had in the streets in very, very short order. Folks, you'll be Lonely Bell today. Welcome. Share the damn live stream, guys. Smash that emoji button. We're following that. Imagine that. That's where we come to. That's where we be. That's where we at. That's where we there. Yep. Bum, bum, bum. Yep. Folks, those of you who are people of faith, remember Lodge. In your devotions, remember Lodge. Please and thank you. Remember Lodge. They need some intervention. Folks, share the damn live stream and smash the emoji button. We're going to do the same, making sure that we are on all the right pages where folks can get valid and credible information. We want to say good afternoon to the folks who are joining us on Twitter. Those of you, our peoples, who are joining us on Twitter. From the top. Pum. That's it. Walk right there. Pum. Yes, that's it. Folks, we're going to be having the Regional 4 Chairman coming up. Mr. Daniel Seeram is stopping by as we examine the state of the region. That is what we'll be examining, folks. And we're so glad, overjoyed, folks, that you guys are here with us. We are super excited that you folks are here with us. We could not ask for more. All you need in this life is a little good company, you know, Jenny's Booker. Some good company, Diane Graves. And Diane, how you doing? Diane, how is you doing? That's all I need in this country. A little good company in this life. And that's going to be well, you know. That's going to be well. That's what I want to tell you. Don't take no stress. Don't take no nonsense from nobody. That's going to be well. Nasa, Colin Williams, Leslie Niles. Yep. Maureen Chichester Paul. Look at you. Go ahead and be great today. Welcome, one and all. Below the belt. Thanks for joining me podcast, guys. Just a thing a dip at this end? Just like that? Stop it. Good to have you folks here with us. We are tremendously pleased and privileged that you guys are here with us. You know what other story following? Oh my Lord, you can't get a birthday party in peace these days. You can't get a birthday party in peace. Folks, welcome to the podcast. No. Them boys promised we a crime prevention plan. We still waiting. Right? We still waiting. A crime prevention plan, we still waiting. That's why we following this story here. About gunmen who robbed 8 businessmen at an LBI birthday party. Folks, you think this thing easy? I thought it was 1 is 8 businessmen. Millions of dollars them boys went away with. Gunmen robbed 8 businessmen at a birthday party in LBI. Folks, we gone, you know. Right. If we go down the road one more day with these boys, we ain't gonna come back. It's gone, we gone. Brenda Braffett. It's gone, we gone. Dolores Dover. It's gone, we gone. Gene Williams. The report says that in what appears to be an inside job, Businessmen were yesterday robbed of millions by four gunmen at a birthday party in Lebanon Intention, LBI. Right. The Ghana Police Force in a statement said that the robbery occurred at 1:30 a.m. yesterday at 4th Street, Lebanon Intention, LBI, East Coast, Demerara. That's how things went down. 3 suspects, guys, have been arrested. 3 of them. They took the fellas to the cleaners. And they want ropes to know your name calling Cherry Baskin. He name call Cherry, thanks for the thing. Thanks for the thing. Some of y'all fast is what thing Cherry give you now. Look story here. Thanks for the thing, Cherry. Thanks for the thing. Gunmen robbed 8 businessmen. Father have his mercy. What we coming to? Ropes in your name calling. Geriatric ropes in your name calling. You know some people gotta go to pasture. At least about Lal. Ropes not go to pasture. He's not doing anything for us. Him not do nothing. Jenny's Booker, Gwyneth Jones, Edward Brooms. Shameful. That's the kind of country we live in. You ain't even safe in a birthday party. You ain't even safe in a birthday party. Right? You're not even safe in a birthday party, people. That's what I'm telling you. Under these jackabout central and scrappos. I don't know what we can do. Them buy sugar down. Money get popped. The whole place get hot. Them buy rinse out everything. Out in the Glock. That's what they're doing. Sugar down and then 8 businessmen gonna get robbed now. You see that? That's what happening. Them buy sugar down. Gone up LBI. You think it's easy in this country? You think it's easy? Protocol. Them buys 100 shop. Money get popped. The whole place get hot. The sugar down. But I'm to Ben. Oh, Ben, do something for Winner, man. Do something for Winner, man. Ben, you see the whole place hot. Molly get popped. Come, Ben. Put taxpayers' money to good use. They done stuck outside. And they're going wild. You're not even safe in a party now. You gotta go to 100 shop to them parties now. This thing getting indictable, folks. Getting indictable. So we following that. We following that. That's one of the things we following, folks. No. Now the story following, folks. The guys are saying that the leader of the opposition, attributed to the leader of the opposition, government missed an opportunity to secure more before renewing the Liza 1 permit. We see Liza 1 permit. I like Liza. The government missed an opportunity. Missed an opportunity. And as I look on the front page of the Culture newspaper, it has here everyone boasting about Guyana's wealth, but our citizens remain poor. You're damn right. This woman has a baby in one hand, a placard in the other, a baby and an umbrella in one hand, and a placard in the other. Yep. I like this. Because it says that she's fighting for the future of this little child in her arms. You know, she's fighting for the future. Not for herself, Andre Prophet, Cheryl Mulray, not for herself, Rena Cummins, Claudette Boville Lewis, not for herself. She's fighting for others. What should you gonna say though? What shall you say to that? Oh, Father. And then Finally, before I bring my guest, I think I'm going to bring him early. We're seeing a report here that the regime is seeking another $100 million from IDB for roads. Another $100 million. They're barring to fury. Huh? They're barring to fury. You see, we were following the economists the other day who were saying every guy needs to know extra $9 million. Well, I ain't feeling $9 million is when they give me. I ain't feeling $9 million. I ain't see it in my bank account. Lord, I can do that money right now. Right? Them boys ain't got time. Borrowing, there's a borrow spree. Right? Pump and borrow. Jack, there's a pump specialist. That's all it is. Pump, baby, pump. Borrowing. So by the time your children come around, they're in debt. Their children in debt. Huh? Where is country coming to? What is country coming to? Merle and Wilma Grant and Doletta San. I know you guys love this country, but look how we there. Huh? Look how we there here. No, man, we got to do better than this. We have got better than this. Borrowing everything. You borrow 100 million, you have to pay back by 3. Right? You got to pay back from about 3. Right? Now look nonsense here. When you see the word nonsense in the dictionary, you see a picture of this letter to the editor next to it. Here is the header for the letter. The PPPC government, wait for it, has saved sugar from the guillotine. How you going to close IFLOT and they save sugar from the guillotine? How you going to close Wales and then more? You're heading up to Skeldon now and the other places. Huh? How? Wait, PPPC government has saved sugar from the guillotine. They lie to the people. Lie to the people. Saying about how they know what they're doing. Huh? We're going to make sugar great again. We're going to make sugar great again. They don't know one thing they're talking about. We still waiting. We still waiting for the greatness of sugar. We still holding. Yep. We still holding. Folks, how y'all doing? We outside today. Whether good or bad. We got to do what we got to do, but people. We got to do what we got to do. I'm so glad to have each and every one of you. And I'm so glad that the regional chairman, Daniel Seeram, responded so graciously to our invitation. That's what I love about these guys. Always hardworking. Always hardworking. Oh, Father, have his mercies. All right. Hi, Senskit. Thanks for the thing. Hi, Sid. Thanks for the thing. Thanks for the thing. Folks, today we're talking about the state of the region. Hi, Sid. Thanks for the thing. Folks. We're talking about the state of the region. The state of the regions. And we have the chairman of Region 4 who is going to be joining us. The chairman, all you hear me? The chairman of Region 4. And I want to get this really clear. So forgive me if you hear a little ringing. We're going to pull him into the studio virtually. Forgive me if you hear a little ringing. Suffer it to be so for a little while. You can tell I need chacha. It filters in. Suffer it to be so for a little bit. Suffer it to be so, folks. Good to have each and every one of you here, guys. We're really pleased that you guys join us day after day. Share the damn live, guys, and smash that emoji button. First, you're gonna hear a little ringing. Hope you're not upset too much by that. But who vex lose? That's what he's saying. Hold for it. I told you. I told you. You're gonna hear a little ring in there, but this is gonna help us to get much clearer. I know y'all fast like a one in this conversation. You don't want to miss nothing. El Capitan,
I
Captain Daniel Seeram. You live, sir. You
pleasant
live.
good day.
Putting on your guard. A very good day to you too, sir. How are you doing?
I'm going well by the grace of God, Sherrod. I
Amen to
trust
that.
that you are doing well, and our listeners and viewers are doing well today. A pleasant good day to everyone, and I hope everyone is keeping well. They're keeping dry. They're
Mm-hmm.
keeping safe, most of all, in these times that we're living in. As you say, Sherrod, the signs of the times, eh?
Time to the
But I wish
times.
everyone, I wish everyone a great day. Needless to say, what you're going through, right? And just stay positive, everybody.
Yep. Uh, Mr. Chairman, hold for a sec. Let me see if the folks are hearing you clearly. Folks, give us an indication whether you are hearing the chairman of Region 4 clearly. Give us an indication, please, and thank you. Let me try to take down some of this so Captain doesn't have too much feedback, if any. Guys, let us know if you're hearing us clearly. Did you hear our guests clearly? We're talking about the state of the region. Yes, they say loud and clear. I'm happy about that. I'm happy. They just have to suffer a little ringing, and then you come through very crisp and clear. That's what we want. Valid, credible, clear information. Captain, how are you doing? You said you're doing well. By the grace of God, and we're so happy about that.
Yes, of course. In everything that we do, we must give thanks to the Creator, right? I believe that there's a supreme being out there, whether you call him Allah,
Mhm.
Bhagwan, or God. There is a supreme being, and in order to have a great day, I believe that you must start it from a point of gratitude. So I believe in even greeting someone, you must, thank them for their presence. And I'm pleased to be here with you on your podcast here, Sharon. It's always a pleasure being on with you.
And it's always a pleasure having you. So we're going to be talking a little bit of what's happening in the region, how you guys have been coping in spite of, the Jagabats and the trench crappers and the fight they have been consistently trying to bring to you guys. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. And also this, I don't want to say a plea as though you were begging Irfan Ali, but you were asking him for what belongs to Region 4. We're going to be talking a little bit about that as well. So let's start, Mr. Chair. Tell us what's happening in the region. I know you guys do lots of work. What is the focus currently?
Well, at the beginning of the year, it's a little slow, but now we're picking up with a lot of momentum as we go forward. As you know, that the passage of the budget leads to the opening of tenders at the various governmental entities. The region is no different. We had a lot of tenders opening. I think that we skyrocketed in terms of new contractors coming in and contractors bidding for works within the region. I know that those tendering processes have started both at the national tender level and at the regional tender level, and that projects are ongoing. What we find here is that we're a bit limited and restricted because of the current weather pattern. As you
Mm-hmm.
know, that
Mm-hmm.
for the next more or less 5 days, I think from yesterday, an advisory was put out that we have a tropical wave here, and
Yeah.
most of the ground is already saturated. Most of our drainage canals and channels are already inundated with a large accumulation of water. So it's a serious situation here that we're dealing with in Region 4. We're trying our best to mitigate the aspects of flooding. However, sorry to say, but it's always disappointing that in the low-lying areas that are hit first, it is something that I would subscribe in my tenure and aspire to in my tenure as regional chairman to try to not, as soon as we see the sky smiles from us and drop some water, that low-lying areas within the region don't flood. um, but it's something that I will work along with all stakeholders to ensure that we bring some amount of relief and assistance in this area. Drainage and irrigation is not just the task of the regional chairman or the councillors or duly elected MPs or the government. I believe that in a country such as Guyana, specifically in a region as the Demerara Mahaica region, drainage and irrigation is the task of every single Guyanese. Every single Guyanese is a DNI officer as far as I concerned, as far as I am concerned. And that you are there to be vigilant, you're there to be monitoring the situations that we have within the region.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Drainage and irrigation is something that I hold very close to me. I'm an engineer by profession, and in my background, I would have done lots of works with drainage and irrigation. Um, and what you would find is that you know the makeup of Guyana, especially the Region 4 area, we have the East Bank, the East Coast, and Georgetown, and all of them have their own uniqueness to drainage and irrigation. Right? We have the majority of the pumps to the region on the East Coast, while the majority of sluices for the region are on the East Bank, and that's basically because of the geographic makeup of the region. And in
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Georgetown, we thereabouts have the same amount of pumps and to sluices there. So um, this is something that is a national concern of national importance, and by that we have regional concern or regional importance, and even at the level of the local authorities, right? This is something that is paramount. So I'm not giving a lecture here, Sherrod, but I must bring awareness to drainage and irrigation. And whenever you pass a pump station, whenever you pass a sluice, any DNI infrastructure, right? I believe it's the onus to all Guyanese to stop and inquire about what is going on, because this is our livelihood. I mean, yes, the officers that are designated for the areas will do their jobs, but we need this extra input. We're living in extraordinary times. We have irregular rainfalls. We have on the unpredictability of the weather, right? Or as I said earlier, our soil is saturated as it is, right? So, and then we have
Yep. Yep.
irregular tides that are coming in that we can't open the cocos when the water outside is too high. So these are factors whereby we really can't blame anybody but what is going on, the phenomena of what is going
The
on
tropical
in
wave.
this day,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I stay away from blaming anybody, and I move directly to the solution or resolution of the issue. I believe that we shouldn't beat issues in which we can use the same time we're taking to beat issues to find a solution to it. And solution oriented governance is what we do here in Region 4. I hear people say that the term, they often use the term a people centered government or a people centered people,
Hmm.
but what I
Hmm.
find here in Region 4, particularly with my councillors, we take a bottom up approach. We just don't dish out anything to the people. We listen to their concerns. And, I've crafted the phrase that we govern at the regional level by, meaningful consultation. And we use the word meaningful meaningfully,
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
right?
I sense some
Thorough
shade there.
discussions, thorough discussions in which we beat the issues. We take the negatives, the positives, everybody gets a say. And then we, the elected officials of the region, will sit down again to once again debate it, prioritize it, in which we have informed decisions always being made. So what you find coming out of Region 4 is something spectacular, right? I believe sometimes I'll invite some of our honorable members of parliament to see how democracy is in Region 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can understand the approach, because nationally I don't see that approach coming. I see a top-down approach coming, which ultimately fails. But here, when you're dealing with the people, we're the intermediate between the central government and the local government.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to listen to the base. We have to listen to those people within the communities that can tell us exactly what is going on, right? We aren't listening to anybody in an AC office or living in a three-story building, right? We are listening to people on the side of the roads, in which they see, as soon as they see the trench filling, they're calling to find out what is
Correct.
going on. They
Correct.
don't have the
Correct.
luxuries
Correct.
of going to another level of a house, or they don't have the luxuries of going um, to another place of abode. So when we have these type of you know consultations, this is where we capitalize on in the region. And as you can see, I will be putting out a lot more letters in the newspapers. I will probably, before we leave, I'll hint at some of the topics them that I'm dealing with, because I find that as I'm writing, there are more persons that are stopping me to ask me to look into issues, but they want the issues to be well documented within the public spaces.
Yeah.
So people can
Yeah.
read, people can see the statistics, and people can make their own deductions as to what is going on. And I believe that it's fantastic for us, Sharon, as elected officials, to be
Correct.
able to
Correct.
give and transmit this awesome amount of um, the information that we have before us. And this information is right there in the open space. This information is readily available, but I'm guessing because we are elected officials, uh, we have them the experience of getting them faster than a normal citizen would. So it is my duty now, and I've added it to my duties as a representative for the largest constituency within the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, that's the Demerara Mahaica region, to represent them in all areas, not only in matters of infrastructure or drainage and irrigation or health or education or the matters of just general administration, but to see what is going on. You see, we have something going on here which people don't actually check on the most important resource within any country. And if you can recall, Sharon, and I think that I heard you speaking and beating on it before, but the most important resource in the country is the human resource.
Correct. Correct.
And
Correct.
we
Correct.
have many issues, societal issues currently ongoing, and we aren't. I do not believe that we're doing enough to place emphasis on our people. Right,
Correct.
we're hearing a lot of things going on, a lot of cash grants. We're hearing about
Well,
all
I'll
of these
comment to
things,
that.
but
I'll
I
comment.
think that they're short lived rather
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
taking the prominence and the prominence that they should have. Here, I can recall seeing a Facebook post, I think by one Alan Fernandez, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it was remarkable how he put it over to each one of the cash grants. There's something that the government could have been doing from the first place that could have alleviated the cash grant, and it makes you think, right? What really is going on? If the systems were in place, if proper policies were in place, then there would not be any need for these cash grants or I hate to use the term, but we must be honest with each other, handouts, right? We
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah.
turn
Yeah.
Guyana into a handout society. But however, right, as the representative from Region 4, if there are handouts being given by the government, then I must make representation on behalf of my people so that they must be beneficiaries of whatever the government has to provide for the populace.
Yep, yep, yep. You refer to that Alan Fernandez post, and I kind of pull it up at this end. He says, "Fisher folks wouldn't need 150,000. Fisher folks would need 150,000 if they were catching fish. Sugar workers wouldn't need 200,000 to start a business if the PPP didn't close the factory. 8,000 people wouldn't need part-time jobs if full-time jobs were available. Children wouldn't need disabilities. Rather, children with disabilities wouldn't need 100,000 if they had a regular monthly public assistance program. And like you, I love the way that whole thing there is coined. Um, you you you
Yes,
you talk, Mr. Chairman, about um, Region 4 and just wanting to get the work done and not ascribing blame. But the Prime Minister seemed to have taken a different turn with that. I see him throwing some blame on City Hall. The question I want to ask is there a synergy in a usual functional way between the NDIA, the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, and let's say Region 4 on a consistent basis, or you just shop when it's something untoward happens?
that's a great question, Sharon. Let me explain it to you. There's always a synergy between NDIA and the regions, and NDIA with the municipalities and the NDCs, right? I sit on the National Drainage and Irrigation Board as the regional director for Region 4. So we have that actually for the East Bank and the East Coast, right? I pay specific attention to the East Bank and the East Coast because the mayor has the oversight over Georgetown, as
Hmm.
you know, according to our governance structure.
Yeah.
But we do have that. Actually, I'm on the phone with NDIA almost every day, for the East Bank and the East Coast and certain aspects of Georgetown. But every single tier of government has their own departments that overlook the areas. Now, I want to spend time, this is something that I'm very appalled at, right?
Talk to us.
Instead of taking the time to write a letter to 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 cast aspersions or put blame on something, the same time you take to write those letters, the same time you can actually sit down and iron out the issues. Right? I don't know if I'm lost in translation here, but it seems as though the modus operandi of the day is to cast blame for
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
that you can use the same energy
Yep.
and effort to fix. And I don't know if I came out of the wrong school, but that is how I was taught. Right? We don't. We are solution oriented people,
Correct is
and
right.
instead of taking time to write letters, publish them on social media. I mean, there's nothing wrong with writing letters, right? But writing letters to cast blame, call the people in, talk to them. We're people, right? There's over 750,000 people that live in Guyana, according to the 2012 census. Um, we have over 311,000 of them living here, just right here in Region 4. So you understand the magnitude of people that are being affected, right? And I often get quite disappointed, right, at how we handle matters that affect people. And I think that politicians must step aside sometimes with their politics and just get the jobs done. Nobody cares how you get the job done, as long as in the legal way, of course. But then just solve the issues. If you walk around and you see something wrong, the time that you will take to document it and put it in a letter is the same time you could take less time to pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, I noticed that this was
Yeah.
wrong in this
Yeah.
area. Or I noticed that this needs to be corrected in an area, right? This tit for tat type of thing only I think it's only there for entertainment. But who is it entertaining when people are flooded? People ain't listening to no show or reading any letter when they have to bail water from their homes, right? The only people who are disadvantaged here are the ones that are our people, right? There's an old saying, when elephants fight, is only the grass feels it,
Very
and
well.
and we're
Very
in
well.
that stage here right now.
Yep. I'm really
And
great.
go ahead, Sherrod.
No, I was saying I really am happy to hear you say that, because we got some leaders here, or who purport themselves to be leaders, who want to look back 30 years, Danielle. Remember when you had blackout for 1 week in 1963? Some people want to take us back to make allowances for their faults. And it is very, very sad. Like you rightly said, instead of pointing out the problems, to just say how together can we fix this? And I want to play some of that. Was a recent engagement with the installed vice president, Mr. Jaglio, and some folks who really weren't having it. They're saying they're not feeling government reaching them. Take a listen, and then we pick up on the conversation on the other side. I hope you guys can hear the audio. Let me know if you guys hearing this. I wanna really and truly, um, because this is what passes for leadership these days, and for good governance, by telling people that they don't read and they're talking nonsense and so on, which is far from it. Far from it. I think we're gonna get some of that in a second.
But I wanted to tell you that
Guys, let me know if you can
something,
hear that.
because for 2 years, well, a year and a half, we couldn't come out much because of the COVID. And only now we can start going out back, but we've been working, busy working, trying to fix things. Okay? And so that's why I apologize that it's so rushed. Only last night I tell them I want to stop in at Hampshire too. Right? And they put and they inform people. So don't blame them for putting this together. Yes, yes, yes. So listen.
We don't get no Nothing from government, nothing from here about there.
Comrade,
You don't have
don't talk
nothing about them.
nonsense about government neglecting the area. You know
Yes,
what we, when Chelly Jordan took over, what we started off with? We started off with get not enough money to pay debts. You started off with not enough money to pay debts. We didn't have hospitals, we didn't have schools. We had 2 weeks blackout at the time. In Georgetown, I know when I come back in 1990, you couldn't drive around Georgetown potholes. That is what we started off with. Yeah, but that's what I mean.
That is
The
what
streets were made, they're broken back. A lot of the streets were broken back up.
What standard of work, sir? It was made, but what standard of work?
Yeah, exactly.
Chip seal is not the
But
standard
chip
of work.
seal,
We have to get the bitumen tarmac.
bitumen, you know you run a family, right? Just imagine you run a family. And when you got your house broken down and your salary can't even pay for food, that is how we started as a country. So what happened is that the little money we had to spread it around
No,
the
sir.
country.
No, I will not do that. You telling me that if your house broke down and you look at the little thing, you go for the minimal cost, but it's not so. I am was the chairman for that Hampshire first when it was under CIMAP. And I can tell you that road, 3 intersection and 1 main across. It cost close to $29 million. And that were the chip seal and the seat condition now.
Yes, but the thing
Yep,
is,
yep, yep, yep,
39
yep,
million.
yep. People just not taking foolishness now. You know, people are very informed more than we give them credit for in this country, Chairman Seeram.
Well, listen, what I would say right now, it's a blessing, and we must always give kudos and give Jackie jacket under the APNUAFC government, right, over the 5 years in office, right, we had minimal flooding within the Georgetown municipality, right, and we almost forgot about blackout until the government changed.
Yep, yep.
You understand? So under the two Davids, David Granger and David Patterson, I salute you, sirs, and the entire cabinet, as a matter of fact, there in the past government, right? And it's testimonial. I don't know what is going on now. The series of blackouts, right? And also we find that large accumulation of water within the municipalities, right? And this is the first time I've seen the central government. Actually being so intertwined with the matters of that municipality. And since the central government has been cast a lot of aspersions over that municipality, we find that a lot of things are going awry, right? Oftentimes, I tell people, when I took the office of chairman, it wasn't a very easy transition into the office because we had a lot of public professionals or so-called public professionals that wanted to be politicians also. And this is what we find that hampers good governance at any level, at the local level, at the regional level, and at the national level.
Hmm.
And when you have the professionals wanting to be politicians or taking political instructions, right? It's like the real bitter ingredient within the whole recipe that just leads to disaster. So I'm making a call on your program here, Sharon. Professionals must remain professionals, right? Must keep to that level of professionalism, right? And we call upon them to do so. If you do your work how you're supposed to do your work, and you don't take any political instruction and guidance, and this goes across organizations within Guyana right now because it's stagnant. It's there. You can see it in all organizations that people are afraid to do the right thing because of the political instructions that they are getting. So if we do the right thing, then we will yield the right benefits from these processes,
Certainly.
right? And this is something I call for here. Hey, you know, the government of the day remains the government of the day until the next elections, right? Not everything that the government of the day is doing is wrong, right? And I'm saying that the things that they're doing right, fine, and everyone is to benefit from it. Right? So we need to get all of us who are elected leaders and representing the people in the area must get our people out to benefit from whatever the government is giving out.
Hmm.
Right? At the same time, right, we must call out also when there's malpractice or when something is going awry. And um, this is where we are here, Sharon. People don't understand the roles of being elected to an office and the responsibilities that you have. And I caution everyone, inclusive of my colleagues, inclusive of my seniors, right, that we are here to serve. Right? And there's a place called the Guyana Defense Force that always it taught me very much about service. And I'll continue serving this beautiful nation of ours as long as I have breath in this body, Sharon.
Fantastic, fantastic. We're following as well as you're on that and service. Um, your plea to the authorities to be fair to the people in Region 4, because, as you said, we see what the commentators have dubbed as band-aids of hampers and handouts, you know. And we saw even your plea attracting the attention of Starbuck News in this morning's editorial. Give a man a fish is the title of that editorial. And they were just talking about what informs policy when you see somebody say in government, the vice president, we're giving 100,000 here or 50,000. So what informs that policy? And part of that, a section of that editorial read that probably should have been expected. The question now arises as to whether other affected and vulnerable groups might experience the same largesse. And here they were talking about this 100,000 going to children who have a disability, impaired in some way. Uh, the editorial go on to ask, is there a lavish handout stretched to, for example, adults with disabilities who are in dire financial straits? What about old age pensioners and other marginalized groups? Already there has been a formal request made by Region 4, the Mahaica's regional chairman, Daniel Seeram, on behalf of the residents of Georgetown, via a letter to the editor published in Starbuck News on June 1. The editorial go on to read, it says that while the conditions befalling those who have benefited thus far cannot be argued with, there is no escaping the fact that the global pandemic precipitated a disproportionate threat to many of the already vulnerable who might not necessarily fall into any of the aforementioned beneficiaries category. And then they go on to say, finally, here, on the other hand, there could well be families that fall into two or three of these groups, and unless serious cross checking is done, which does not seem to be the case given the ad hoc nature of these handouts, there might be families raking in windfall while others remain bereft. And so we have seen, these band-aids of hampers and handouts in several places, but they seem to have escaped Region 4 altogether.
Well, Sharon, thank you for putting it so aptly as always. I mean, it's remarkable how you always hit the nail on the head every time, Sharon. And you know, when the exact thoughts are the ones that are permeating society right now.
Mhm.
What is the measure? How do you cap or how do you come up with these figures to give for these handouts? $150,000 per fisher folk, right? And at the time when you make these announcements, there's no criteria for it. And then at the same time you say $100,000 for children with disability. Fine, I welcome anything that will bring an add to the lives of the citizens of Guyana. But at the same time, as right thinking Guyanese, we must ask why, right? And we must ask question as to criteria where. And I don't know, Sherrod, but probably you can tell me where in the budget were all of these cash grants and handouts budgeted for.
True, true.
So when we're looking at it now, I found it necessary to make my plea. I'm saying a plea here on behalf, an formal public request on behalf of the folks from Region 4, because like goat bite we,
Mm.
right? Because
What would think?
not only that, we have fisher folk here too, we have children with disabilities, we have everything, but more importantly, what about, and I wrote this in my letter, right? That we have the persons from the discipline services, we have teachers, we have persons from the healthcare sector, right? We have persons who are on the minimum wage, that that these cash grants can help. Not only just a cash grant, want to help, um, the current situation and the rising in cost of living, which is affecting everyone daily.
Correct. Correct.
And we have a diverse population in ethnicity, in religion, right, and also with regards to the different occupations throughout our nations. Right? So we just can't pander to a base, but we must give equitably to everyone here. That's all I'm asking for.
Mhm.
Right? And in going forward, right, you kind of steal him a thunder a bit, because the next letter that I will do to the editor sometime in the near future will be one which addresses the minimum wage and pensions. I can remember a day I stopped to buy a coconut water, and a gentleman walked up to me, and he asked me a couple questions on the document, on the letter that I had written, and he requested of me specifically to look into pension. So it's something that I definitely will look into and place my analysis in, as another letter to the editor, of course, in the near future. But I don't see, we're trying to see where they're coming up with these figures with, right? When we did it at the regional level, we came out with $250,000 based on the average salary of a person, right? And based on the essential items that were raising, right? In terms of the grocery per month per household, the average person per household, transportation costs, and all of these things we factored in,
Mhm.
and and that is how we came up with $250,000 after going through that, consulting with persons, what were the things affecting them, discussing them thoroughly, exactly what would cause what would cause what. So we're offsetting you there, while we do understand that supply chains and a lot of things were disrupted because of COVID, because of a war,
Mhm.
an
Mhm.
ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. But instead of coming up with ad hoc cash grants, right? And again, as long as they're giving out the cash grants, once you fit the criteria, I'm not stopping any citizen from going and getting it,
Correct. Correct.
right? But we must do it better. Now, I think that one of the things will come up again will be how these cash grants will be delivered and distributed. It's not something I dealt with in my letter, but it's something of a concern. And we all remember the pink slips. I think some
Correct.
people got a pink
Still
slip. It must
waiting.
be turned light pink now or white,
White
right?
slips though.
We have persons, not only with the pink slip, we have the other flood, the flood relief cash grant, with some farmers were not paid also. We have the Because You Care cash grant, and now I see housing coming up with another cash grant.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
the day that I sent off that letter, I was smiling as I sent it to the editor, because I said, "Oh, I wonder what would be the next cash grants coming out." And before, in less than 24 hours, they had the children with disability and the fishy folks. Right? So I am still making my formal public appeal to the government of Guyana for the cost of living cash grant to the people of Region 4. Right? We are a diverse and vast part of our populace, and I think that deserving families in Region 4, right, have the right to gain access to those cash grants, so that they can be relieved a bit of their monthly um, expenditure.
Yep. 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 Certainly. Certainly so. Mr. Chairman, as we wrap up our discussion today, I know in February when that last budget was passed, the Region 4 budget was cut, I think, by 13 or 14%. The previous year was cut. How have you guys been making out? Because they
Well,
seem to want everything to be done. They want a proper functioning region, but you're giving people, stress to make bricks. How have you guys been coping with a cut budget in the age of oil and gas and all the money we see in the natural resource fund? Talk to us, sir.
sure, the parts of the budget that was actually cut were directly for the council itself.
Hmm.
So I see it as a direct way of stymieing the work of the councillors of
Wow.
the region. And we are the only region, I believe, that was cut. Imagine the largest region within the entire country, and our budget is being cut. Right? But yet you have other regions who are going before PAC and their slush funds. So much is left to be desired as to what is really going on. And so also, I would say that it doesn't deter us from doing our work. I spoke to my counselors, and we understand the constraints and the restrictions that we are under, but we are not phased by it. We get up every morning, we go out there, and we do exactly what we have to do as your duly elected officials at the regional level. Up to this morning, I was on the phone with two of the councillors who were actually walking their area, identifying to me trenches and drainage canals that need some amount of maintenance to be done on them.
Mhm.
And this is the value, and this is the type of councillors that you have in your region, in Region 4. So I must say kudos to my councillors, and also to the staff of the region. Majority of them, right, are pushing over 100% just to ensure that we stay afloat during these perilous times.
Yep, 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 yep. Perilous times indeed. Perilous times indeed. And finally, sir, I know you had some challenges um, with the some of the personnel there at the regional level. Is there a better working relationship now to just get the work done, as we spoke of previously, or you still have those challenges? Because I know they're trying to put every spoke in your wheel.
Well, Sharon, here was the thing, right? As I said, we here at Region 4 pride ourselves on being solution oriented. And we found ways to work around those issues, right? And I hold firm to professionalism at every
Yeah.
aspect of my life. And I can say that we're getting somewhere
Mhm.
in terms of the working relationship between the Regional Democratic Council and the regional administration.
Mhm.
And more times we have been putting aside all differences to govern in the best interest of the people of the region. So I thank those officers, right? We are all human beings here. We have we have times when we may disagree, right? But I must give kudos to those officers and my counselors as well for putting aside differences for the greater good of the people of the Demerara Mahaica region.
Fantastic. Sir, I want to thank you for spending this time with us below the belt as we discuss the state of the region, and in particular, Region 4. Any final thoughts to the folks listening at home and abroad?
Yes, of course, Sharon. Um, we do see within the Amrama Hiker region, we do see that there's an increase in the numbers for COVID. Through your program here, Sharon, and thank you for having me on. Um, I'd like to implore all Guyanese, the measures were relaxed by the government of Guyana in terms of COVID-19. We are led to encourage people to wear masks, and I'd like to this time encourage all Guyanese to wear their masks everywhere that they go. We see the numbers increasing. To sanitize wherever you go,
Yeah.
practice social distancing. Go and take your shots if you haven't taken them, and get your booster shot if you haven't gotten your booster shot. And I think many medical professionals can tell you that the vaccines are helping us to curb COVID. But however, every day we are hearing internationally, regionally, and nationally that of new variants of COVID-19, and
Hmm.
more of these variants are coming out to be more contagious and more widespread, and they have more serious symptoms coming up. Of course, we know the affected groups are the elderly, and I tell people to always be respectful to each other in terms of how we are dealing in this situation. We are not back to the normal, ladies and gentlemen. Harsh reality is that COVID is here with us and will probably be with us for some time more. So I implore you, and I make a clarion call for us, to wear a mask, sanitize, be safe, treat your fellow man well, right? And let's press on with the business of the day. As I said before, you know, let us not waste time in bickering and the tit for tat, right? There is a government, there is an opposition, there is a region, there are the local democratic organs. And if all of us as stakeholders, coupled with the private sector, coupled with civil society, a non-governmental organization and the diplomatic corps, all of us can pitch in to do exactly what we have to do, and that is basically the right thing. Then we can have, and then we can look forward to that good life and the Guyana that we all deserve. Sharon, thank you very much for having me on. It's a privilege and an honor as always.
Thank you,
And
Mr.
thank you
Chairman.
to our listeners and our viewers. And I trust that you all have a good day. And everyone be safe and be well. God
Thank
bless.
you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We all look forward to that good life. Thank you, sir. Stay well. Folks, that's our time today, and that's our program. We couldn't do without you, folks. Valid, credible information. Valid, credible information, guys. And we ask that you share the live stream for us and smash that emoji button as well. You guys make the programs what they are. Marinta Chester Paul, we see you there. Alisa Monilal, we see you there. Deborah Leach, we see you. We see you, Beatrice Selby. Folks, share the live. Smash that emoji button for us. Partner with us as well. We're totally publicly funded. And we keep tweaking these programs for you guys every day. We keep tweaking the programs, guys, to get them right just for you. So on our State of the Region program, podcast, on Thursdays, we're going to be talking with our councillors, with our regional chairman, with our people in the region, citizens and otherwise, trying to get a sense of what's happening on the ground, folks. That's going to be how we're spending our Thursday, talking to the folks on the ground who understand the issues on the ground, folks. Share the live stream, smash the emoji button for us, partner with us. Y'all know we're available via Zelle, PayPal, Cash App, MMG. Our number there is 627-6963. 627-6963. And that's our WhatsApp number as well. If you need any guidance on these platforms, we're available via MoneyGram and Western Union as well. Partner with us so we can keep the lights on, the door open. Y'all know that's code for what, folks? We got to keep on working. Boots on the ground. Bring it to you live and direct. We're so happy that you guys have been here with us. Delilah Sana, Marjorie, Baburam, good to see you. Peggy Russell Elias, good to see you too. Rhonda Lane, Rhonda, how you doing? Tomorrow, guys, is Talk Back Friday. Rock and come in, folks. It's y'all day tomorrow. Rock to the come in tomorrow. Paulette Hawk Kippins, good to see you. Anne-Marie Roberts, folks, share the damn live stream. Smash that emoji button for us. We're mixing things up, folks. We're going down the road. Thanks for joining us. That's our time. Stay safe. Partner with we. Pace and power. Guys, it's Mingo Byrne. Good to see you, Yvonne Ramosar and Paulette Hawk Kippins and all the other folks joining us. Stay safe. See you guys back this evening at 8 in the ring. Thanks for joining the Below the Belt podcast, folks. Who vex lose? That's my time. Stay safe. Stay safe.